Here with your Fox 10 News Now update. I'm so excited Bob Saget is here,
I'm
guys.
honored.
I'm not gonna lie, normally I act really cool when I have comedians come in. I'm just like, you know what, it's no big deal, but I'll be honest. I was secretly fangirling because I grew up on Full House.
Right.
And it is the
I
first
did too.
memory I have. It's the first memory I have of television. So I'm really excited to have you here. And you are here in Phoenix because you're gonna be performing at Stand Up Live tonight.
And tomorrow, yeah, 2 shows tonight and tomorrow with my friend Mike Young, who's a movie director. I just did a part in a movie he did called A Stand-Up Guy, and he's opening.
Okay, so he is directing a film called Stand Up Guy. Is that
Yeah.
Is it a scripted film then?
It's a scripted film. It's a feature film, and it's about a guy. It's Michael Rappaport's in it, a bunch of people, and it's about a guy who goes into the witness protection program to get away from the mob, but he becomes a comedy club MC, but becomes a hit. So now he's not exactly in the witness protection program. He's kind of exposed. And I'm a country western singer who's a stalker.
I thought you would have. I assumed you were playing yourself in the comedy club, stopping by.
No, I've been playing character parts. I've been doing a lot of different
that's so
stuff.
cool.
Yeah, I got a couple things coming up that'll be interesting. And then Fuller House.
It's hard. Is it
Fuller
hard to
House.
add the ER to the
Well, it's
name?
also the name. Candace Cameron Bure, her character, DJ, was married to a guy named Fuller, but he was a firefighter who died in a fire. And so just like my wife when I did Full House was not alive, I needed the help of John Stamos and Dave Coulier, who doesn't. And Candace has Andrea Barber, Kimmy Gibbler, and Jodie Sweetin, Stephanie, helping her raise her 3 kids.
So funny. The friend and then the sibling. It's pretty
So
much.
it's a spin-off. It's really about them.
Right.
That's what it is. And I've done a couple of them. I've done the first one, which is going to be...
Right.
It all comes out in 2016.
Because you're still their dad.
I am their dad, so
But
I
now
came
you're
in.
a grandfather?
Kid tried to call me Gramps, and I'm like, take it easy. But you got on here on Fox, you got John Stamos starring in a show called
Grandfathered,
which is great. I actually did a cameo in that first episode.
Well, when I knew you were coming
he's my brother.
When I knew you were coming in, we have this giant grandfathered poster in the hall.
I saw it.
I
got excited.
Can we please take a picture?
Yeah.
With Bob in the John Stamos poster?
I'm gonna take one.
I think that's what that's Instagrammable.
Yeah, I'm gonna be doing that. That's what I'm promoting his thing. The show itself promoted me on Instagram with him. You're fixing my chair, so I'm
because you were like leaning out that way.
I hate when I lean out. I'm sorry. Is this better?
It's perfect.
Okay.
You're very well centered.
We don't have to say we'll be right back, which is good.
It's so fun.
Right. So Stamos and I are dear friends, and his show is great. He plays a guy who finds out he's not only a father, but he's a grandfather in the first 2 minutes, and that's the show. And it's and he's just adorable. He runs a restaurant in L.A. and he's like hobnobbing around with celebrities. Don Rickles is in it. Lil Wayne sitting next to Don Rickles in the first one.
Is that Lil Wayne? Does he have a regular role, or is it just
no?
A cameo?
Just a cameo. He actually wrote a song once that I'm in. My lyrics were about me. It was like something like, I can't say the lyrics here but it's about, I want that Bob Saget Full House money. Something like that.
That's good.
It was good. It was nice. It made me sound like I was all pimped out or something.
I actually think the definition of success in this era is being mentioned in a rap song.
It is not bad. Well, there's ways not good.
I mean, it's still cool to be acknowledged in a rap song.
Unless it's like Louis Vuitton with your money. 18 years and the kid ain't his. That's not good. You don't want to be promoted that way.
Yeah, I guess there's that.
There is that.
Oh my gosh.
So now you got questions?
A lot of people freaking out.
Yeah, right? Because it's me, right?
Yeah, and they were all complaining, like, oh my God, she's 5 minutes late. But Jessica's defending me, saying she's allowed to be late. She has Bob Saget.
Right.
Thank you, Jessica.
Oh, so you were 5 minutes late?
Well, we were supposed to start at 9:30, but the time was sort of...
I was doing a lot of press this morning.
A lot of press. In fact, every person in this newsroom wanted a photo with you also.
That's nice. It was a little like Santa Claus. And I'm here in Phoenix doing the stand-up, which I love. I love my stand-up. I always love my stand-up. So it's like an old friend. And I'm working on new stuff.
You started in stand-up.
I was 16 when I started doing stand-up.
And what city where did you start doing stand-up?
Philadelphia.
Okay.
And I won a radio contest. And then I was going to film school at Temple University, and I won a Student Academy Award. So then I moved to L.A. thinking I was going to direct movies, which I've done before, but... I've done a lot of bad. I always say I do like 5-6 things, none of them well, but I do.
But
I'm a hyphenate.
That's a lot of people in Hollywood, though. Once you're kind of known for one thing, you get the opportunities to branch out and do other things.
And if you have the wherewithal and you want to do it,
right?
And the talent, you hope the talent.
Right. It's not like when Kim Kardashian tried to sing or
Well, that's celebrity, and that's like I don't.
different.
I don't see myself. People do say celebrities over here. You'll go to some event in LA, and they'll go, "Bring my celebrities," and it's like we're
Right. People who are
unicorns
famous
or something.
well, there's people who are famous for being famous, and there's
which
people,
isn't anything. I mean, I don't think.
And then there's
But-
people who actually are known for either entertaining you through comedy or through singing or rapping, whatever the thing is.
an artist of some
Yeah.
kind, and then there's Donald Trump.
Which I'm glad you brought up because
unbelievable.
I tend to ask comedians on the show their take on Donald Trump and just random current events in general. But Donald Trump is destroying it in the polls.
He is. He wants the whole country to be called the United States of Trump. I mean, he really wants his name on everything, and he's going to spend $1 billion on his campaign, is what I'm hearing. So I don't know. I'm not a political guy, but we've never seen anything like this, and it seems like something out of a sci-fi movie from 30 years ago. It doesn't even seem possible that you'd watch a debate where the audience is applauding when someone is roasting someone else. I mean, he's basically just taking shots at
He
people.
could be a great person on a Comedy Central roast. Is
He
what you're saying.
was. He was. I mean,
Oh.
yeah, he's that
He's that guy.
He's a caustic guy with a sense of humor sometimes.
So I want to acknowledge
Please.
the chat room because they're very excited. Bina
Yes.
asking, Mr. Bob, what percentage of how you were portrayed on Entourage was really you, if that makes sense?
That does make sense. There's a little. I mean, I'm not the guy on Full House, but I am a good dad. I have 3 daughters that are old now. They're 28, 25, and 22. It's old. I'm so old. And on Entourage, I was the guy that was hanging out in LA, smoking cigars and wearing a black bathrobe and not shaving. And I do that. So, but I'm not really a womanizer. I have a one-person relationship. I am single again, which brings me back to Phoenix. So that's what I guess. That I didn't mean it that way.
Which means because you're single,
hi,
you
Phoenix.
have time to go tour, is what you're saying.
Well,
And go
I
on
would.
the road more because you're single.
Well, I
and you
would.
have that time
No,
now.
I would tour even if I wasn't.
Never mind. I was trying
No,
to
I don't
justify that
understand.
comment.
You were trying to get me out of that.
I was trying to help
Basically,
you,
I was
and you're like,
looking at.
you're like,
I
no,
was
no,
looking
no.
I was looking at Phoenix as though it was Tinder. That's just terrible. I
Swipe right on
apologize.
Phoenix.
Please don't let the transcribes of this come
If
out.
you are on Tinder, though, I wonder who is
No, I would never be on Tinder. What am I going to do? Oh my God, it's him. That would be
They probably
so
wouldn't
sad.
even think it's you, though. They'd probably think it's someone using your photo.
Yeah, I agree.
You
And
know?
there are people that do that with everything, with Twitter, with Instagram, and
Right.
But I have my own accounts that are my name.
Blue
so
check mark. The whole
Yeah,
deal.
right. I'm authorized.
Jessica Minsmeyer, question for Bob Saget. If you
Yes.
weren't a comedian or actor, what would you want to be? Also throw in director, right?
Yeah, I am a director and a writer. I wrote a best-selling book. I have a New York Times bestseller last year called Dirty Daddy. The Chronicles of a Family Man Turned Filthy Comedian, but it became a New York Times bestseller. So that's, I wanted to be a doctor. That's what I wanted to do when I started at Temple University as a pre-med, but I was so dumb. Then I went to the film department and I made documentaries about a little boy who had his face reconstructed. So I kind of still had ties to wanting to go near medicine, but
Have you ever played the role of a doctor in any show?
I was in a Richard Pryor movie called Critical Condition in 1986, and Richard was a friend of mine and one of the best comedians that will ever live. And I got to be this Dr. Jaffe who did all the dirty work that he didn't want to do because he wasn't a real doctor. He was impersonating a doctor. He was a convict. All these convicts trying to pretend they were something else.
Right.
But I would love to be a doctor if I knew what I was doing. There's mascots in here.
There are a lot of mascots in here.
Why are
It's
there
actually
mascots
very
in here?
entertaining. I don't know. I feel like they are saying hi to you. They're really
How's it going?
excited.
You
I
guys
think they
wanna go
might be
on the-
walking over to
I
say
think
hi
they're
to
going
you.
to be on the
I really
interweb.
think.
No, they're at desks.
Oh.
I think they're being filmed.
Can we might as well bring them over really quickly.
I think you can. Hey, you
Hey,
guys.
mascots!
Mascots, can you come over?
They're gonna rush
This
over.
is going to be a furry festival.
This is I'm just switching cameras.
Take it easy now. Take it easy. Come on in. Get in.
Right here.
They're everywhere. Are you okay? Oh, nice to meet you. Pleasure to meet you. The Rattlers, come on in. There's a snake.
Oh my
This
gosh!
is my agent.
This is amazing.
And then Casino, Arizona. Look at. Don't mess with the hair. Don't mess with the hair. I know you got. What are you gonna do? You want me to? You don't want me to go in your throat hole. It's a lot of mascots. Give them a round of applause. They're all here.
This is amazing.
All right. Thank you, mascots. I'll miss you. I miss you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I got kissed
Bye,
by a
guys.
mascot,
This is-
and it was good. You take care of yourself. Be well.
Thanks for hanging, guys.
All right.
All right, back to the show. That was fun.
They're strong, these mascots.
Have you ever done an?
And I've never done anything with a mascot.
before.
What were you going to ask me? It didn't sound good.
It was,
No, actually, I was in the Rolling Stone once. They took a photo of me, which was more like an entourage type of question, where I was in a hotel room with a mascot that was passed out with a bottle of booze. And I was sitting there. It was a full-page picture of me just looking disgusted, like I did something terrible. I don't
want to know what you did with that mascot.
No one knows. It was
No
just
one
a
knows.
photograph.
Maybe.
It was a cool picture, though.
Let me see.
Oh, good. I like these pauses because we're on
We're on the internet. I can
the
just...
interweb net. And this lives forever.
Oh yeah, Les Chow Mein wasn't he also the host of that family home video show?
Yes, I was the start of that.
America's Funniest Home Video.
I used to write the bad jokes with two other guys, and I did all the voices of all the animals. Look out! All that stuff. That was me.
Speaking of voices, one of our viewers, I think it was Ale earlier, had asked a question. I can't find it, but I know I read it earlier. He was like asking how great was it to be a part of How I Met Your Mother.
That was a great thing.
I think that's what
I was doing a play in New York called Privilege, and I got a call from Pam Fryman, who created, or the director of the two other guys, Carter and Craig, created it. And they said, we'd like you to play the voice of this guy. I said, why can't he do it? And she said he's a young actor, Josh Radnor, and he's charming, and we just think you'd be right. So it's 20 years later. I said, so it sounds like what, he drank a lot, or he had some more cigarettes or something. And
something happened in those 20 years.
And I just did it, and 9 years of narrating the show. And Josh and I are friends. We really like each other. It's really quite amazing to be part of that thing in a way that I never thought of it as my show. It wasn't. I was a moral compass of the show. It was a guy looking back at his life and then telling the story, which is what Ron Howard did with Arrested Development. It's what Daniel Stern did with the Wonder Years. So it was a nice thing to do.
Out of all the projects you've ever done, is there one that's closest to your heart, or one that's your favorite, or should I just assume it's Full House because it's the thing that sort of?
I would think it's this, what I'm doing right this minute.
So
Whatever I'm doing at the time was usually my favorite. Like literally doing stand-up this weekend is what I'm putting. It's why I'm on this promotional thing. It's what I care about my shows tonight a lot, and tomorrow night, and I've done plays before. There's a play I'm going to be doing, a cool thing in the months ahead, and I'm doing a Fuller House episode next week. So I put 1,000% into whatever I'm doing when I do it.
Right.
So I really I can't pick a favorite. Stand-up is a friend that I always go back to, because I love it, because I get to be silly, and it's like jazz. It's not really scripted, but it kind of is, and I'm working on new songs, and I write music.
I mean, it's that live experience that can't be replicated. Every show is different.
And you learn from it all, and you write funny stuff down that you went. The problem is you record yourself, and then you don't want to listen to yourself, because you like listening to your voice.
I only go back and watch things when I really need to go back and watch things, because I want to see how something went. Like, I'm going to go back and watch our moment with the mascots, because I just think that's fun.
The mascot moment's going to go viral.
I mean, how much time do you have in a day to go back and watch everything you just did, you know?
Yeah, and I can't.
Yeah.
It's very hard, and I've directed myself before, and it's not fun. It's just not. And hearing my own voice is like, oh my God, please get to the point. Give me something new, Bob.
Frankie's saying a lot of people look up to you. Do you have a role model of your own?
I guess role model. Well, I've become friendly with Norman Lear, who started television in some ways, new television. I mean, he did All in the Family. And he's 93 years old.
Wow.
And I've been hanging out with him a little bit, and he inspires me quite a bit. I'm one of the most remarkable people I've ever met. I guess my dad and my mom was pretty great. My dad was my biggest role model, I think. And my closest friend now that is like a dad to me is Don Rickles, comedian Don Rickles, who's quite brilliant. And if he's coming here to Phoenix, you gotta see him. You gotta go see him. He's 89 years old. And he is just hilarious. I called him up last week and I said, how do you feel? He went, critical.
I was just going to ask, what kind of conversations do you guys have?
He's just hilarious.
Is it just all funny, or do you guys have really serious moments too?
It's mostly talking about real stuff. Talking about what you find funny and what are we going to do about the world, and then talk about creative stuff. And the dinner was actually Don and Barbara Rickles and John Stamos and me. and that was last week. It's on my Instagram.
Where did you guys eat at?
A restaurant called Craig's in L.A., kind of a sceney kind of restaurant.
Where is that?
It's on Melrose.
Okay. I lived in LA prior to moving here.
Yeah, it's near
ago.
Robertson.
Okay.
It's nice.
Very trendy area.
It's
very trendy intersection.
Very, very little whole thing going on. You got a Varvatos store there. You got a lot going on.
There's a lot, and everything is really. You can't buy anything under $100 on that street.
No, including the people.
Rachel pretty much asked the same question as Frankie, though, who your influences are. Ale wants to know, Bob, what is your go-to beer and favorite beer of all time?
I guess, I'm such a lightweight these days. I'm not drinking as much, so I'm an Amstel Light guy, or, if I can get a Corona Light. It's so sad. Just shove a lime in a Corona Light. So I guess that's it. I've had other beers I like. Oh. I was having... what do you call them? A car bomb, the car bomb, which
Irish car bomb.
Right. So it's and I don't drink any of that stuff, but I did it. I was with a friend of mine, and it had Jaeger in it. I was with Adrian Grenier from Entourage. I don't stop the name dropping. It's just
Vinny
one
Chase, for
long
those of you who don't
name
know.
drop. And we were in Chicago, and we had just gone to see my friend Ben Folds.
From Ben Folds 5.
Yeah, and then we went to see him, and then we went, and then. One of the drummers from Smashing Pumpkins was playing in some small bar.
Just keep going with the name drop.
So Adrian took me to, the drummer from Smashing Pumpkins. His name blurs for me because I was drinking car bombs. And you put the thing in it, but the milk can curdle because it's got, whatever it's got in it, some creamy liqueur.
Guinness? No, not
It's Guinness. It's a Guinness is the beer, but then inside of it is the.
My friends do that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, but it's creamy,
something.
And you do it all quick, and it's just like 5 minutes and then you're bloated, and the hangover is retarded. Whoops, can't say that.
Yeah, you can.
In the non-political way.
You shouldn't say that. What do you think about society becoming too politically correct? That
annoys
me.
The thing is, I have, when you know people that are mentally challenged, and then you say the word as an accidental teenage faux pas, yeah, then you feel bad. But when I'm trying to explain now that it was... I always love when there's a big glitch in something I say. I say something politically incorrect. But
not just that, but political correctness in general, though.
Well, you don't want to hurt anybody. So
right.
I have a cousin who's mentally challenged. If I said that word, he'd laugh because he knows my comedy and he's a friend of mine.
Right.
But it's not nice to say slurish things. We're in a world where people are calling. It's just terrible. The things that are happening, and words can't become fashionable anymore. When I was in the 80s and I was watching Richard Pryor and Rodney Dangerfield and people that I looked up to and started with, there were no limits at the time. George Carlin, but George was pointing out the 7 words you can't say on television. The R word's a bad word. I don't like celebrity. I think that's a bad word. So, I don't know. I really have no point except I'd like to apologize for saying that word. And flag it more, so I make more out of it rather than just letting it fly. Some people would just let it go, right?
Right.
Are there any other good questions?
There's a lot.
My mom wants to tell you that you were her favorite AFHM host. It was America's Funniest Home Videos, so it would be but it was AFHV, but then it became AFV because they took out the home. My joke was it's because so many people lost their homes. They wanted to make people not feel as bad. Which is a sad joke. But Tom Bergeron's a friend of mine, which is nice. So we talk about people getting hit in the nads. Because that's all we looked at.
Frankie's saying, you always look so great, Bob. How do you stay in shape? What's your secret?
I have a Pilates machine that I lie on and nap. I try to do cardio. I'm not in great shape right now. I've got to get my 2-pack back.
Doesn't mean beer, guys.
I do cardio. No. Just try to get a little abs going. I need a dimple somewhere in my stomach area. But I do. I don't always look so great. Trust me. Trust me. I mean, she's right next to me. She knows.
I don't see any fat.
Well, there is. I keep it hidden. No, there's no fat there.
I still don't see it, but
no,
okay.
I'm not. This is my move. I make her poke around looking for fat.
So it's saying light beer, really?
Yeah, I know. I said light beer. Well, what would yours be? Sam Adams is people's fave. I mean, hey, Guinness. I was promoting Guinness. I mean, that thing in a car bomb, that's serious beer.
Sounds intense.
But I don't drink sometimes. I stay off the stuff because years ago, I wrote about it in the book. It kind of messed up my life. I was driving around drinking, and I'm lucky I didn't hurt anybody.
Right. That's not good.
Right. So my favorite beer.
What about your favorite non-alcoholic beverage?
I like a Dr. Brown's Diet Black Cherry Soda.
So specific.
Yeah, very, very. Well, that's what'll happen when you're My Heritage. You go right to the deli that you want. Kind of pickle. You want a new pickle.
What deli is it?
Oh, well, that's confusing, too, because New York has a zillion.
Yeah, New York has a lot. Are you New York based or LA based?
Well, I'm LA based, but I'm gone to New York for a couple months, and I have a lot of family there. But I don't know. Deli's not good in LA, so it's a New York deli. You don't have a deli here, do you? Phoenix must have a deli.
No, not like the ones in New York. Let's put it that way.
Right. I was a deli clerk for 5 years. I went through college and I sliced lunch meat. I have a trade. I took a leave of absence from the Amalgamated Meat Cutters Union.
Well, did you have a favorite lunch meat, or were you just so over lunch meat by that point?
Well, it's really about bologna. That's really what you're doing. Favorite lunch meat would be the first cut corned beef, which isn't as fatty. And then, I learned a lot. I sliced lox. I killed carp for those.
Have any of these skills contributed to any of the projects you've done in the future?
No, I have not made a deli
appearance
or movie or anything like it.
Yet.
I'm in the Writers Guild, the Directors Guild, the Screen Actors Guild, and the Amalgamated Meat Cutters Union on a leave of absence.
So if there are any screenwriters out there that want to write a film
a deli
about a deli.
I made an 8mm movie in film school called The Deli Man, and the credits were made out of hot dogs.
Oh.
So that's really why I'm not going near it.
Can I tell you an interesting story since you brought up John Stamos and Grandfathered?
Please.
Steve Kraft, the reporter right there.
Right.
He was at the debate. His sister, Laura Kraft, is a writer on Grandfather. They were on the set yesterday with John Stamos.
Oh, well, Dave Coulier was there yesterday.
So I don't know. I just know that they were hanging.
Dave Coulier did a cameo on Grandfathered yesterday. There it is. Let's show it to the people.
That's him.
May we show it? Sure. Well, that's John Stamos, and he is so brightly lit right there. It is very. He is glowing. He is glowing like the chosen one.
That one's way better for TV.
He is mythologically handsome.
So.
He is fantastic. He is. This is a picture that was taken just. Oh darn! I have this new. I used it. Got the new software update.
Oh, iOS 9. How is it?
It is exhausting.
I heard not to download it till they do their update of it.
Well, they keep updating. They're never going to fix it because all they want you to do is buy the new one. But this is promoting Grandfather. This is me and John, because I did a cameo on the show. So it's on in 2 weeks. Grandfather
on Fox.
On Fox, right there. What does it say? What's the comment? Seriously, I love this show, Grandfathered. Not just because my brother John Stamos is the star of the show, but because it's also great and funny. Y'all got to watch it. So there you have it.
Do you type your own Instagram captions?
Yeah, I do everything myself.
Here he is yesterday working on the set.
What is he doing here?
No, he's like reviewing all the shots. And
Does he have more of a role than just
John likes to look well on Grandfather. I think he's a producer. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. On Fuller House, he's
the executive producer of Fuller House.
He is one of them. The main guys are.
I know. I want to meet your sister. She seems so cool.
Everybody wants to meet his sister.
I mean.
That's another story.
Oh. This is nice. This is so informal. You just hang.
I just feel like Steve Kraft needs a photo with you too, so you can just slowly start collecting your.
Fan of yours. My son's a comedian.
Yeah.
Really? Your son's a comedian?
Yeah, he is.
Does he perform at the clubs here?
Yeah.
His first show ever was at Stand Up Live.
Just turned 17.
Oh my God!
And he started
that's when
at 16.
I started. Yeah, 16.
I have to get your email to send you his stick.
I would, and Stand Up Live is it's a great place for him to go up. Is there an open mic night there? What night is that?
Cameron?
Wednesdays. They know him. Cameron Kraft. They know
that's
him.
a really good name. Cameron Kraft.
That is a really good name. It's
great.
almost like Laura Kraft, but even cooler.
Yeah.
They can't be much.
Anyway,
cooler
since
than
we
her.
did bring up Fuller House, I feel like we do have to get a couple questions in about that.
Okay.
Because this is a really big deal.
Yeah, it actually. Well, they rebuilt the show. I mean, I'm not allowed to take pictures of the set. We're not allowed to talk too much about the show.
Right. It's not the same house, or is it? You can't tell us. Okay. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
It's really amazing what they did.
Are the opening credits going to involve DJ in a red convertible on the San Francisco Bay Bridge?
Can't talk about it. All I can tell you is you're going to be satisfied. It's a very long first episode, and there's no commercials because
Right.
it's Netflix.
Right.
So all 13 of them come out next year, and it's really interesting. The first episode that we did was mind-boggling, and to just walk in and just be that guy.
Again,
To not,
was it easy to just get back into the role of Danny Tanner?
Yeah, I was tired, but that's because I've been working a lot on something else, and but it was really quite. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really
just being
a lot
together with everyone again.
being
too.
together with everybody, but also it's just really weird to walk into a room and just go. So anyway, so Kimmy, why are you here? You know, and it's because that's
Because you're back into the role of Danny hating Kimmy, right? Still?
Yeah, it's Danny Tanner and the Kimmy Gibbler relationship.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and there's love. There's a lot of love between all of us. So I'm doing one next week, which is fun. I just read the script for it the other day, and then
This was really big news on the internet when it came out.
oh, it's crazy. There's tragedies in the world, and Full House is coming
Well,
back.
honestly, though, it is such a huge part of late 80s, 90s television, and that is a time where, again, primetime shows were huge at that time. So I feel
there wasn't the cable market. I mean,
right,
so we
and
had
there was
such
no
a giant
internet market either, obviously.
It definitely wasn't what we're doing right now.
Right, and so I just think that, I feel like if someone who doesn't have Netflix now, I feel like they would get Netflix just to watch this show.
And they know that, and they're a real smart company. I mean, they're taking over the world.
Right.
They're really great. And what they've done is, this is the first family show they've ever made.
Right.
And it's a live studio audience. It's the first multi-camera. So it's 4 cameras, which is more than you have here. And it's a live studio audience with a family show, with moral themes, just like the original had. And there's some life lessons to be learned. You can watch it with your parents, and so I'm very proud to. What Stamos, what's so great about him, and what Jeff Franklin and Bob Boyette, they're the guys that originally produced it. Jeff Franklin is head writer of this show right now. They wanted to keep the legacy alive and not just smear it with let's put a show on. We've been asked to do clip shows, we sit there and you run old clips of the show.
Right.
That's not what this is. This is
actually
these are the
scripted,
characters.
a continuation.
It's a continuation. 25 years later. I mean, Star Trek was 10 years later when they went and did Star Trek, and we're not,
Well, the series finale was what, like 95, 96, 97, something around
94, I think.
Are you?
Well, we started in 87 and we ran for 8 years.
So 95.
Yeah, there you go.
I cried on the series finale.
I did too, because I was.
Well, you were part of it.
I was relieved. Well, they had talked about continuing it, and Dave would have continued it, but it didn't seem right the way we were going to continue it on another network. So it felt right for it to end when it did. But it's very nice to do it in the way I'm doing it, which is not all the time. Just guest star.
Yeah.
I mean, but I love being the guy, and it's love as an actor. You go, no, Danny wouldn't do that. And I'm a guy who's got an irreverent sense of humor, who goes off and does these things that.
Right, your stand-up comedy is much different than Danny Tanner.
That's a character.
Exactly.
And actually, my stand-up comedy is a character also. It's an amped-up version of me. Mm-hmm. And it's not. I mean, I'm not like my stand-up comedy right now. This is more what I'm like
in regular day-to-day
communicating to another person.
Right.
If I'm not like sleeping or working out, or I like quiet time also, so that I can do all the work. And you have to, if you're going to be an actor, and I've got another acting project coming up next year. Well, actually this year, I don't know when, but you really have to have a clear mind. You can't be drinking a lot of real beer. You just have to pick your spots. But you can't, you guys have to have a clear mind. Thank you for helping. That was a joke. I was actually doing it as a joke, but it wasn't very good. You have to have your memory, which means you need to not be on substances that mess up your memory if you want to work and be able to be good. And you have to be there for other people because it's collaborative.
Right.
Even stand-up, it's collaborative. I can't be on stage tonight at Stand Up Live at 7:30 and 10 tonight, and at 7 and 10 tomorrow night. I can't be up there. I'm a plug master, but I can't be up there and not be there 100%.
Right, you have to show up. You have to be ready to go.
And you don't, and have fun.
Right,
and the idea is to love it.
Right. and acknowledge the audience and bring them in. And
Oh, I do that.
I saw you perform at the Improv. I want to say it was 2010.
In Tempe?
No, in LA. I just moved here 9 months ago.
Oh.
At the Melrose Improv. It
Right.
was, I want to say it's March 2010. I know that sounds really
Very
weird, but you were
possible.
there with Jeff Ross. You guys just stopped in randomly.
Oh, was I playing piano for Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My ex-boyfriend's a stand-up comedian. He was performing that night. I remember.
Ex-boyfriends don't make good stand-up comedians.
I'll leave it at that.
I have never dated a stand-up comedian.
Yeah, you
I
shouldn't.
don't think I could. No, it's difficult. I probably know the stand-up comedian
You
that's your
do
ex-boyfriend.
probably, but we'll leave it at that.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's
well,
okay.
I'm glad it's over.
I'm glad it's over too.
Yeah.
Tamara asking Bob, in the new show, are the roles reversed? Is it the kids that fix your mistakes and ask you if you learned your lesson?
No, I'm not in a nursing home. But if they did Fullest House in 20 years,
Maybe then.
yeah, right. Then it would be Dad, come by the window. I don't remember. Who are you? I'm DJ, Dad. No, it's everybody just progressing on with their stuff. I can't give you plot away. I'm not allowed. They literally have assigned stuff.
Wow, so you can't even answer this question by Rachel. Is Uncle Jesse still obsessed with his hair?
Well, the characters they're true to the characters.
Right.
So I'm a clean freak. I made myself a clean freak on the show. I was
you developed that
and a
part.
hugger. Danny Tanner was not written as a hugger. I think he had a little bit of neat freak in him, but I turned it into this crazy thing. Yeah, because I was a big fan of Neil Simon's The Odd Couple, which is Felix Unger was the craziest clean freak. So it's a stolen character
But
attribute.
I feel like that's so important when it comes to TV characters, though.
You want to be able to know who
They want-
your two-dimensional characters are.
Well, they're quirks.
But in shows now, there's more dimensions to characters. I mean, people have their different, if you watch Silicon Valley, if you watch Girls or whatever, characters have a lot more. I mean, they're not four-camera, multi-camera,
Right.
family sitcom, which is, it's you got to get to the jokes. You got to get,
Right.
here comes the emotional part. And the thing about Full House that I think made it so successful is that it was, that felt real for a minute. In the middle of all of this, I don't know, all this crazy cartoon talk. Sometimes it felt like it was just nice,
Yeah.
It was like meatloaf. It was home cooking.
I mean, I was raised on it. I joke because my dad would never really paid attention that you raised, like Danny Tanner, not you, the character, raised me in terms of family values. And I was so fascinated by how many hugs happen on that show.
It was
And I was like, is that
insane.
how you
That's
resolve problems in households?
Well, it was funny because when I was in my early 20s, I went to acting classes, and I was just going to be a director. I didn't think I was going to act. And my parents weren't hugging type people.
Right.
And they became hugging type people. So I lost my mom a year and a half ago, and my dad 8 years ago. They were known for hugging. My parents became a very huggy family, and it's all because I kind of learned it
From Danny?
from acting class.
from acting
No,
class.
yeah, I couldn't get a job. I was like 7 years in LA, just struggling and working at the clubs and trying to get a job. So, but then Danny, it makes me want to hug people less. But I am a hugger. I do hug people that I care about.
Yeah.
I can't help it. I mean, I got 3 kids and gotta hug them.
You have 3 kids in
I
real
have 3
life,
daughters,
too.
and-
3 daughters in real
But the
life.
thing is, they're women, right? So they're 28, 25, and 22. So a father does the unicorn hug, where you just kind of, you don't hug on, you don't go inappropriate hug. You just like, I love you so much. But the hug can last. You just don't. I don't trust families that do the full body press at a certain
It's
age.
too-
It's not necessary. It's just
Yeah.
too much.
Right.
Let's see. Do I like Jamie Kennedy? I love Jamie Kennedy. He's an old friend of mine. There was a music video he did, and "Rollin' with Saget" was his song. We did a rap video that cost $500,000.
That's a lot of money.
$500,000. A guy named Dave Dean used to do Mariah Carey videos, directed it. And Kennedy's a good guy. He's a Philly guy.
Well, you have a dog-like comment. I love that you're getting so.
I know. I just have girlfriends with dogs. Ex-girlfriends. I have ex-dogs. I had one dog that was my dog. That my ex-wife and we've been divorced 18 years. The dog died, sadly, but I took care of him at the end, last year of his life. I tried to keep him alive. He had cancer, and I kept getting him treatments. But he was joint custody, so he was, not legally, but he would go wherever my daughters were, and his name was Alan. And I wrote a song once, and it's in my stand-up, and the audience sings it with me. And it's something my dog did to me late at night. And I was just sitting in the house with some scotch, and I was drinking, and I had jeans on, and he came over and just like nuzzled with me, but a little bit too familiar. So I wrote a song about it, and people know it. It was on my special, That Ain't Right. So.
And where can people watch your special?
Well, that's HBO, so that's easy. That's just downloadable. That's iTunes. That's Amazon. The last one, that's what I'm talking about. I got nominated for a Grammy for Best Comedy Album on that one.
Congrats.
That's what I'm talking about is Netflix, Hulu, iTunes.
You can watch it,
anyway, yeah, you can get my stuff.
Or you can see him live in person tonight. Or tomorrow. That's what I would recommend.
This is live right now, right?
Yes.
So, but this lives forever. Do you keep this?
It lives forever, yes.
That's going to be a problem. Can you cut out that one word I said about my cousin? It wasn't my cousin. Why? See, when you get off of something, why bring it back? It's only the OCD mind does that.
Yeah.
They hold on to that one
let's
thing.
Let's let go of it. Let's not worry about it. I don't even know what you're talking about.
That's what's great about it.
What's happening?
That's what's so
I have
perfect.
no idea.
What does mudslingers don't stand a chance mean?
I have no idea. It's an ad for Volvo, though.
Oh, it's an ad.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. It's not nice to make fun of people. So you're saying if you attack people, you don't stand a chance. But how do you explain Trump? I mean, he is a mudslinger. He is just attacking.
Keeps rising in the polls.
Yeah. Well, what are the polls?
He has last poll he had 30%.
Yeah.
There's 16 candidates. He has 30% of the GOP vote.
He's got $1 billion. He's huge.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll
Tells
see what
you.
happens. Oh, wow. They're talking about the Trump controversy right now.
Well, we're
Josh
talking
Earnest.
about it.
Yeah. No, everyone's talking about it. Did you hear what happened yesterday?
No.
I don't know. Oh, basically, a guy in the crowd was like, Obama is a Muslim and we need to get them all out of America. And he didn't correct the guy. And so now it's trending all over Twitter, basically.
That's just sad.
Because it was a town hall and some guy was angry.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be something new tomorrow. There's too much anger. There's too much hatred. It just doesn't make any sense. There's too much TMZ way of thinking. There's too much people wanting to be rich and famous rather than people just wanting to, I don't know, find some directive and then maybe you can
Contribute to the world?
and make a profit from it.
Right.
Maybe you could find something that could get you rich. And I mean, there's rich and famous like Elon Musk, where you're
Right.
trying to think about how to save the world. I wanted to build a wave machine, and I didn't think it existed. Then I talked to a Nobel Prize winner that told me that they use them a lot. They're in the ocean, and you just get the energy from the ocean going in and out. But did you know they exist?
I didn't even know they existed.
Well, they exist, and they cost $1 trillion, but they exist, and they are one of our greatest sources of energy if we want to channel it.
I did not know that.
Besides solar. And once the whole planet melts, it's going to be easy anyway. Are you guys all dried up like we are in California?
No, there's actually this whole monsoon season.
Oh, you
I
had
didn't
a
know
terrible
about this.
thing happen last week. Yeah, on the border of Arizona.
There's just random flooding.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
yeah.
rain that comes. It was raining a few days ago. No, beginning of this week, there were trees knocked down.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a little
there was some
different.
horrible floods recently.
But then even California was just hit hard a few days ago.
We were. I
Record.
actually had to put in 5 new toilets.
Wait, really?
Really?
What happened?
I have 7 toilets. They're all in one room. but I had a problem. None of my plumbing worked. The tree roots had eaten it all up, so there was no drainage in my backyard. So I had to dig up my whole yard. I had to dig up the whole house and have drainage put in so my house doesn't flood.
Wow.
Isn't that a great story? That's what happens when you keep people long enough live on the internet. What else
I
do
know.
they want?
Rachel saying, Bob, I love your comedy and how awesome you are.
Bob has more respect for people. Oh, they're talking about other people. I can't follow the trail.
Yeah, they were. Ale was talking
I
about.
see.
They're bringing up previous shows.
I see.
Tamara was asking, Bob, were you mad they let Uncle Jesse marry Lori Loughlin's character rather than your character? I would have been
Well,
very upset.
No, I mean, she was my co-host on Wake Up San Francisco. Why would I be mad that my brother-in-law got to be happy with Becky? I mean, there's nobody better than Becky.
Yeah.
Lori Loughlin's one of the cutest, sweetest, most wonderful people, greatest friends. When we were doing the show, she would just bake pies, And before we would go to even leave our house, we'd find pies on our doorstep. She would drive to people's homes.
That's so nice.
And leave pies. It seems a little stalky now.
Now.
I mean, now that I know her. And I wouldn't eat something just off the ground.
I feel like this has all gone on this really random tangent. So
Yeah, I know. That's
let's
what
just
happens if you
recap.
talk to me long
Let's
enough.
recap.
Go ahead.
So you are at Stand Up Live tonight and tomorrow.
Right, 2 shows tonight and tomorrow.
7:30 and 10
Tonight.
and then 7 and 10 tomorrow night.
Exactly. They need more time to get the people that drink more out tomorrow.
Right.
They start to wobble. So
Yeah, because people start drinking earlier on Saturday.
they do.
I follow. And
And then the thing that people have been asking about, Fuller House comes out in 2016, all on Netflix, all 13 episodes.
Right.
If not more, I don't know what they're doing. And people will be able to binge watch or grunge watch or however they want to do it. And I've got a stand-up tour coming out next year where I'll be doing a new special after I tour for a while. But this is kind of the material I'm working on right now is going to be in the new hour that I'm working on.
so when is that hour supposed to come out?
I have no idea because I haven't shot it. So it'll be whenever. What's nice
What are you
about where
hoping?
I'm at,
When are you hoping to release it and shoot it?
I would guess it'd come out in the fall sometime, and I would guess I'd shoot it sometime in the spring.
And how do you decide what venue you're going to shoot it at?
That's a good decision. I don't know. I thought of San Francisco just so I could say "Wake up, San Francisco."
As your opening line.
Yeah,
There you go.
and that'd be the only reference to the show.
Right, and given that the return of Fuller House, I feel like now is the appropriate time to
It
do
would be.
it.
It would
Yeah.
be interesting.
I think
and
you should.
I do love the audiences there. I don't know. The last one I shot was in Seattle, and the time before that I was at right on NYU's campus at the Skirball Theater. So I don't know. That's not the main thing. The main thing is what is the hour and that it's good. I just want it to be funny. And there's a couple other things I'm working on, which I'm excited about. A movie thing I'm directing and acting in that the ink's not dry yet on the contracts, but we're cast. And then I like directing a lot. Sometimes I'll just direct traffic. I'll just go out in the street.
Wear a bright vest.
I always wear the bright orange.
Yeah.
So with you here, or they go bright green.
Again, I've lived here for 9 months.
Yep,
my
understood.
my reference point, I haven't hit too many signals where the power was out yet.
So you fled LA.
I love LA. LA is my heart
Ah.
and soul.
But then how
but
can you
it's so
say that
fun.
to the people now?
But I like
Here.
it. I love it. It's just where you consider home, where where the years where you developed as an individual and as an adult.
Yes.
That will always be near and dear to you, and that's what Los Angeles was for me.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
I love
but
LA.
I love Arizona. Everyone's very nice.
I like it here a lot. I mean, it's almost like LA in some ways.
Yeah.
It reminds me of it.
There's traffic. There's some good restaurants.
It's a big grid here.
It's a big grid.
It's a lot of driving.
Lots of driving.
And a lot of cities that are similar.
Right, and they're all kind of connected to each other. Like, a lot of people back in LA don't really know that Phoenix and Scottsdale, it's pretty much the same city. I tell people, it's kind of like where
Valley
you're in
in
LA,
LA.
or not even the Valley in LA. You're in LA, and then suddenly you're driving west and you hit West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and you're still in the same streets. They're just considered different cities.
Yeah.
Phoenix and Scottsdale share the same streets.
Yes.
It's sort of just the same thing. There's not even mountains separating it like the Valley.
No. It's
Yeah.
it's like a Coyote movie. Wile E. Coyote and Roadrunner. No, that's not true. That's out toward the more of the Camelback Mountain kind of thing.
Yeah, you're pretty familiar
I'm
with
thinking
the
about
Phoenix area.
Sedona for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, there are parts of Arizona that are
Yeah.
a little more Wile E. Coyote.
That's Sedona. Yeah, the rock that balances.
I mean,
on
I still
nothing.
remember the first time I saw my first cactus. It was very exciting. It was the highlight of my move here. But on that note, I know you need to get going.
Yeah, there's
you
some
have
other
a lot of
thing I
work
have
you
to
have
go
to do.
to. Right.
I am going to show the viewers.
I can't believe you're so good at all this tech stuff. Look at you. You could run an airline.
I could, but Josh Earnest is speaking, the guy that was talking about the Obama-Trump situation.
Right.
So I'm going to show the viewers what Josh Earnest is speaking about while I go ahead and walk you out. How about
Okay,
that?
good.
Any final question? I guess there's one question. Let's show me.
Out. They're going out.
Bob, do you like when interviewers bring up Full House, or are you tired of people asking about it?
Well, there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
I feel
it's
like-
like saying I'm not Spock. You know, and we are doing the reboot. So
That's
I mean,
where I feel like it's relevant.
right. That's fine. That's all good. I like people.
And,
I'm all good. I just want to know why they went out with an asterisk, like you're gonna walk me out.
I don't
Maybe
know.
they think the segue is awkward.
Oh.
Are we still on?
We are on right
But
now.
you're running him in a small screen right now?
No, not yet. I'm about to run him as soon as we walk
Oh,
off.
good. That'll be good.
Yeah, Rachel has one last question though. Bob, how are you inspired for material for your shows? Where does it come from?
That's interesting. I guess it comes from the quiet time. Comes from just thinking about stuff. And I also roll around with my iPhone, and I just thousands of things on my notepad. I write all day pretty much. If anything gets said funny, I won't write anything down from here. Not your problem, my problem. No, I wasn't that. I don't think I came up with anything that. Well, I don't know. The grid, my Wile E. Coyote. I don't think so.
Right, because you're thinking of like Phoenix-specific material for tonight, I assume.
I am in the Phoenix state of mind.
Yeah.
I'm like Billy Joel, but it's Phoenix. but I do think of things like I've been thinking about birth and death a lot, which comedians sometimes tread in areas like that because my friends just had a baby and my mother just passed away. So I've got material that are dealing with both of those things that aren't meant to make people sad. They're
Right.
just and I find humor and stuff. It's hard to talk about humor and not do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, oh, this is really funny what I'm going to do. It's like, well, it doesn't sound funny. Talking about comedy, as you know,
Right.
having had a horrible ex in your life.
You just assumed it was horrible. You don't even know. We could have been best friends after.
Maybe
We're
most
not.
exes are not.
We're not.
Yeah, I'm not really friends with my exes, which is. Any last thought here? I think Bob would be a great replacement for Peter Venkman. I agree. Couldn't agree more.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to walk you out.
Thank you.
I was going to show you guys Josh Earnest, but I noticed that there's a fire going on, and I think you guys will be more into that instead.
Where's the fire?
I will let viewers know in a second.
Do you know?
I just know that there's a fire somewhere. But
Interesting.
I will show you guys this video, find out where the fire is, and I'll be back with you guys
It
in a
doesn't
minute
look
or two.
bad. It doesn't look like a bad fire.